Hello friends, welcome back to my studio. Hope you're well. I've had a little bit of bad luck recently and I thought I would share it with you in the hope that it helps you avoid the same situation. Years ago, when you're an artist, everything was in the hands of a gallery, and if you were lucky to be picked up by a gallery, they organised a lot of the business side of things for you. They kept their client lists, potential buyer lists, and did all the promotion, and that's what they took their cut for, and that was great. The problem with it was, of course, was getting a gallery to actually pick you up and represent you. These days, it's much easier. There's so many ways to put yourself out there that you don't really need a gallery anymore, but it does mean you've got all of the things that a gallery would have done for you are now on your plate. And when you're small and perhaps you haven't got disposable income to pay for people to do those roles for you, you're doing them all yourself. Part of running my art business is having a website, and I've recently had my domain name stolen, if you like. It's a semi-fraudulent situation where I have my website with Wix and they don't support a .au domain name, so they outsource that to a third party for you. I originally had my domain with GoDaddy and they were absolutely fine. I'm not quite sure why I changed. I had absolutely no problem with them. When the domain was due for renewal, it had actually expired. I got confused because I had my site with Wix and then I'd forgotten, because I bought like a 3-year plan, I'd forgotten that I had my domain registered with GoDaddy, and so when I was receiving these emails I thought they were spam, and the domain lapsed, but they held it for me and I was able to re-register that, and so that was actually a very good situation. However, I decided, because of my confusion, that it would be better to have it all under the one banner, so I transferred the domain to Wix, the hosting to be with Wix. And unfortunately, I didn't realise they did this outsourcing to a third party. So when the domain expired, and it happened in July this year, and I was heavily involved with my mum being in palliative care and all of that went on, and I may have missed an email. I've been back and had a look. I don't remember an email for a renewal of the domain. So it's been picked up by this third party called Domain Rescue, and they are asking for a lot of money to host my domain, much more than it would cost me with Wix. And through some searching on the internet, it appears that they are just do that with looking at domains that are about to expire. They pick them up and then they charge you. So the website was working fine, but I'd lost control of it really, and they had changed the email address, so I couldn't change the host anymore. I'd completely lost control of it. And when I contacted them, they directed me to a site where I could change the email, and they wanted all sorts of personal information, tax file numbers, and it was very obvious that they were just not above board at all. So I went into looking at how can I take legal action and somehow get this back, and I'm already involved in, as I said, my daughter's car accident and trying to resolve that for her. So I'm already in legal with that. I just decided, you know what, I'm just a small business. I don't need to keep my domain and have all this problem. So I've just changed my domain. So it's still selinawilsonart.com. I've dropped the .au. So it means Wix can now host that domain name. So I'm all under Wix, and it feels really good to, and it was so much cheaper to register for 3-year plan for the domain hosting was still cheaper than the 1 year that this company were trying to charge me. That seemed all very simple. The thing that may impact me, I guess, is all the traffic that my previous domain had to the site. All those algorithm things are probably lost. It's almost like starting again. I'm really happy I haven't paid this company any money, but I have taken a hit for it. And I did contact Wix and let them know that this was an issue for them and they should really be careful about who their third-party people are. I didn't have a lot of success with that. They were just like, we can't help you, and yeah, it was a bit crazy really. So a warning to you, be very, very careful about if you do have a website and your domain, protect that. It is part of your business. And what you could all do for me is go over to my new website. It's still, I was going to do as part of it a whole new design for the website and relaunch it with this new domain name, and oh, it's November and I'm getting ready for the artist market. We're in preparations already for the open studios next March. I've got way too much on to be redesigning a website. It may happen in the future, but I do also really like the way the website looks at the moment. So if you could help me out with algorithms and supporting my new domain, please head over to my website, selinawilsonart.com. If you're already a member and signed up to my newsletter, everything is working the same. It's just the domain name that has changed. And yeah, if you'd like, I don't spam you. I might send out a few newsletters a year. If you'd like to sign up to receive those, it's things where you might get special offers or notifications of what's going on. So head on over, please, to my website and help me boost that back to wherever it was within the whole search domain. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks. And if you don't already know, the other thing that's available that's worth going to the website for, there is heaps of free stuff there for artists based on previous vlogs, and there's some color theory, color chart things I've got on there. And yeah, go over, download a heap of stuff for free. There might even be some artwork on there that you'd like to own it as well, who knows. But head on over and let me know what you think of the site. Last week I showed you these cellophane pockets, and so I've been busy wrapping the artwork ready for sale for the market. These were a little bit big for the smaller ones, so I've had to put them in the A4 size and just fold them over, and I'll tape that edge. And I just buy little white stickers to price things. I think it's really good to have prices on things. It means I don't have to try and remember what the price is. And it also lets people know their imagination. I've said this before. If they're interested in a piece of work, they will value it, and they may not know what a going price is, what your range is, and having it really clear for them means they know what's achievable for them straight away. It's very clear. You know, these are 10, this size is 20, so kind of almost double the size. And then I've got the A3s there at $50. If these were mounted, they would be more. I just put a little bit of cardboard in the back to help support some of them, depending on the paper they're on. This paper is really thick acrylic pad paper. It's got a little bit of a grain to it. You might not be able to see through the cellophane. That is an A3 size, which is that size pouch. And I find these are stiff enough to hold up. And while it adds a little bit of cost for me to put them in the cellophane, it does protect them from lots of hands touching them. People can move them around into different light, and if you let people touch things, it connects them a bit more to it and helps with the sales, I think. And I also have a 3 size pouches. They're the same thing with the fold over sealable edge, and it also helps give them a bit of a shine, because of course these are all paperworks, anything on paper would be mounted under a frame. And these I sell for $100, the A3. So it also makes it a little bit more affordable having them just on paper. And people can choose a frame. Sometimes they won't buy a piece framed because the frame doesn't match their house. Now, I know there's a lot of disregard in the art world of people who buy art that match their home, but the reality is people do. They love the art for sure. They love the image, but it does have to sit in their space well. So having them in these bags unframed does help them then match them to their decor in their home. As I frame this little piece up, I hope you found that useful, and I hope it helps you avoid the difficulty that I have had. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a lovely week, and I shall see you next week. Bye.